What's going on, gamers? It's your boy Daily Tactics here, and today we have a massive battle that's about to go on. So we have 500,000 German soldiers on this island right here, ready to defend it with Kar 98Ks against 3 million US soldiers. The US soldiers have assault weapons such as the Thompson, and they also have trench shotgun troopers as well, and about 30 Sherman tanks. I believe there are some Sherman tanks over here. Yep, there's some of the Sherman tanks right there, and there's also some of those shotgun troopers I was talking about, and they are going to be laying siege to this island fortress against the German army to see if they can capture it. It's going to be a crazy battle. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. Either way, let's get into this video. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Alrighty then, boys, let's go ahead and press start right now, and rapid fire bullets come out of every nook and cranny on this battlefield. Many of the German defenders are going down, but also we should be seeing many of the US attackers going down, and that is happening as well. Now, the thing with the US soldiers in this game is that they didn't give them any, like, you know, M1 Garands, they didn't give them any Springfield rifles. All of the weapons that the US soldiers have in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 are relatively short range. I mean, we have the Thompson SMG as well as the trench shotgun. So the US doesn't really have that much range or distance for them, and nothing that will really pack a heavy punch except for the trench shotgun that you have to be really close for. Meanwhile, the Germans do have those Kar 98Ks, which have really good stopping power as well as really good range, so they're actually able to get some pretty good shots off on these US soldiers from a far distance without the US soldiers being able to necessarily fire back yet. So that's going to be the main advantage that these German soldiers are going to be working with, that the US soldiers have to end up overcoming, or else they'll end up getting destroyed. And right now, they are truly getting destroyed. Look at this, shotgun troopers funneling in here and just getting absolutely decimated by incoming German fire, falling down to the wayside, getting absolutely annihilated right off the rip here. And look at this, the Germans are just firing machines over here. One man fires, reloads, the next man fires. It is just constant rain of bullets against the US Army. Really brutal stuff right now coming from the German Army against the US. We do have some of those Sherman tanks over here, and it looks like they're almost using like an artillery style of combat with them. It's a bit of like sniper tanks here. They're all on top of these hillsides, just firing downward at the island below. That's going to be very helpful. Those HE shots can absolutely decimate the German lines, and that seems to be happening. We have many a dead German over here already. They are getting eaten away at, and look at that. Those shots are just exploding and taking multiple Germans with them with every single impact. Absolute brutality right there from the US Sherman lines. Well done indeed. But of course, there's still just hordes and hordes of US soldiers coming forward that the Germans are going to have to deal with. So this battle is going to be a real toughie. Right now we are looking at about 600,000 dead US soldiers and about 100,000 dead German soldiers. So the Germans are managing to outpace the US Army by 6-1, which is definitely very good. I think it's just about even with what it would take to end up winning this battle overall. So, you know, it's a good start for the Germans, but it might not be enough. The US might be able to pull this through and absolutely dominate the battlefield, which is, you know, very nice for the Allied forces here, trying to take this small little island that I mean, truthfully, if this was actually World War II, I feel like this island would likely be relatively insignificant. It's not like it's the only place where you can like cross over to the other places. I mean, there's bridges throughout the entire map that you can just use, and then also like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a very good strategic position overall. I mean, you just kind of get dumped on by the city walls and the hills that surround you. It's not a very strategically important area, so you know, I don't know why the Germans are fighting so hard to keep it, or why the Allies are fighting so hard to take it. Honestly, if the Allies just went ahead and, like, you know, set up a few Calliope tanks over here, maybe a couple of, like, M8 howitzers, some other artillery pieces, mortars, and just started raining hellfire down on these boys on the island, I think the Germans would likely surrender pretty quickly. You know? And it's not even like it's good for, like, shipping routes, like, because ships won't really be able to fit through here, and there are metal gates at the bottom. This is not a very strategically important position, I take it. I don't know why they're fighting so hard for this. Either way, we do have 850,000 dead U.S. soldiers at the moment, and 130,000 dead German soldiers. The U.S. assaults with the shotgun units seem to be slowing down. They're having a lot of trouble. They are getting some shots out before they die, but just not a lot. You know, these guys are suffering pretty extremely. The assault troopers are definitely doing better because they do have a little bit better range than the shotgun units, but it's not significantly better, if we're being completely honest. I mean, they're just a smidge better. Are those Shermans still alive, though? If those Shermans are alive, yeah, the Shermans are still kicking, at least some of them. Perhaps some of them did end up dying on the battlefield. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, as long as there's a few Shermans on the battlefield, then the U.S. does have some hope here, I think. Oh, there goes another one, just blipping out there into non-existence, and this one seems to be derping around pretty good. So yeah, the Shermans maybe not doing the best that they possibly could be at the moment, but if they could continue to get some kills for the U.S. forces, I think the U.S. could still potentially do pretty well here. Those Shermans are going to be very, very helpful in the long run here. Almost 1 million dead U.S. soldiers now at this point in time. That is absolutely crazy. And about 150,000 dead Germans. It seems like the Germans... Uh-oh. Lag. Big lag. Holy cow. What was that lag spike? And it's still a little bit laggy. Whoa. Okay, wait. It's back to normal. Okay, we're not going to look over there anymore. That was spooky. They didn't want us to see something over there. Something over there is causing lag. We're just going to avoid that area then, because I don't want this game to crash. But either way, yeah, the Germans certainly, you know, doing a great job here. The U.S. struggling a little bit. We'll just have to see if they can pull through, manage to make a bit of a comeback here for the U.S., because the U.S. is not doing too great. Why don't we go ahead and do a time-lapse over here of these U.S. soldiers forcing their way across this bridge over here with their SMGs and see how they end up doing in the long term. Alright, after some time there, it looks like we've got 1.5 million dead US soldiers and approximately 209,000 dead German soldiers. So actually, the US making a little bit of a comeback in terms of numbers. They seem to be getting a better ratio now than they were previously, which is certainly good, and you can tell that the inlands of the German defenses have sort of shrunk back a little bit towards the middle of the island here, but they're still not doing great. The U.S. soldiers here still desperately need to start ramping things up and getting kills, because there are still 218,000 Germans left alive and 1 million U.S. soldiers left alive. That's a lot of Germans left to take out, and well, a lot of U.S. soldiers to take out as well. But you know, the U.S. we've seen are not as good as the German soldiers in this game. Clearly, well, at this range at the very least. I feel like if we like just slap them right next to each other in a long line, the US would easily clap these German cheeks without flaw. But since the US is, of course, you know, a little bit more distanced, let's say, in this battlefield, is definitely a little bit more challenging. It looks like the water did take out a few of these U.S. soldiers too. I'm not surprised. There's probably been some environmental kills from folks falling off of the cliffs and stuff like that as well in this battle. It just sort of comes with the territory of Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, but that's alright. Look at these body piles, by the way. They're like astronomically large. Why are these guys running like to the shore here? The bridge is over there. Run behind the mountain. Be like these guys. These guys are smart. These guys up here are stupid. What are you doing? Of course you're gonna get killed if you run this way. Am I missing something? Why? Y'all are so dumb. Y'all are so dumb. I cannot believe that. Alright, why don't we go ahead and run another time lapse. This time let's do a bit more of like a bird's eye view kind of a thing. Should we do like the full island bird's eye view? I don't know if the Germans are like a little dark shape, but I guess you could see them firing, so you can kind of get an idea of where their lines are and where they might shrink back and stuff like that. So maybe this will work, I suppose. Let's try and get this bridge in there too. There we go, beautiful. All right, let's run a little time lapse here. Alright, things are definitely getting pretty close here, actually, as the U.S. Army soldiers have 670,000-ish soldiers left, and the Germans have about 150,000 left, but the U.S. is increasing their kills a lot faster now than the German soldiers, so the Germans definitely really got to hang on tight here in order to get the Dubski at the end of the day. They right now have 1.9 million kills. The US has 280,000 kills. So the Germans obviously outpacing in terms of kills by a lot, but they have way less soldiers, of course. There's this strange little pocket right here that's like managing to stay alive for the Germans. Is it like covered by a hill or something? Oh yeah, it's like got a little bit of a dip. That's interesting. Huh. Like the guys behind them died. Must be like the topography here is just working out for these Germans. Oh wow, look at them like turn in unison here. Oh, it's like a wave. That's trippy, dog. That looks absolutely wild. They wildin' right there. And then over here, Germans got absolutely slashed, absolutely destroyed. The U.S. making it onto the island here for the first time, I believe, and also just firing out from this bridge, which probably offers them pretty decent cover, so this is not a bad situation for these U.S. soldiers right here at all. Look at this guy, he's just booking it. Bro! Oh my god, he's getting shots off. What on earth are you doing? This is a one-man army right here. Oh, he's dead. Well, buddy, you really gave it your all, and I am proud of you for that, son. He really did go beast mode for just a second there. Look at this, a trail of dead U.S. soldiers trying to charge in. They are getting cover fire from behind from some assault troopers here, though, on the bridge, using that same bridge tactic as the other boys back there, so that's good to see, but still struggling. We're in a bit of a struggle bus mode right now for the U.S. here. Most definitely a little bit of a struggle bus. Looks like over here we've also got snipers up here. All the Shermans are dead, by the way, at this point. I don't see a single Sherman on this battlefield. Hopefully they did a good job up until when they died, but at this point they are gone, not to return. Why don't we go ahead and do a little time lapse of these Germans right here for some funsies, but this battle is definitely coming to a close. So through that time lapse, we did see the German lines here shrink a little bit further from the coast right there, but also the U.S. Army here is running out of soldiers bit by bit as they come up onto the, well, bodies of their fallen comrades, and are then shot down and join them. So a little bit of tit for tat. I think the Germans probably have this in terms of defense. I think they've got what it takes right now in terms of soldiers and things like that to just go ahead and dominate and get that victory. But the U.S. are certainly putting in a good fight here, and they're making it a bit of a run for the Germans' money, which is what we like to see, of course. I don't know how much longer the U.S. is going to be able to sustain it. Well, I guess they do have a lot of soldiers over here, and over there they've got some. Back that way they don't have that many, and this way they don't have that many. So, like, this back half right here is certainly, like, the best prospect I think the U.S. soldiers currently have to get the win. But I don't know. I just don't know if they're going to get it. I just don't know. I don't think they are. I think the Germans are going to manage to defend. But, of course, we'll just have to wait and see here. Why don't we do one last time lapse? Let's do... Should we do the full-blown time lapse Rooney here? Yeah, I think those are less fun with the ranged units. Let's do a closer up one, like right here, of these Germans defending versus the U.S. off in the distance here. And hopefully we'll get a bit of a conclusion to this battle fairly soon in here. Things are definitely really coming down to the wire here, boys. Right now there are 64,000 Germans left alive, and we have 282,000 US soldiers left alive. So the US has actually managed a bit of a comeback here, and they are starting to topple this German regime on the island. The Germans are still holding rather tightly onto their property here, their land, but it's slowly being encroached upon by the U.S. forces here, and the U.S. is managing some pretty decent pushes overall. So I really do think, lag, oh god, what? Okay, we're fine, apparently. Why does that keep happening? But either way, I really do think either side could win at this point. It's sort of come down to the wire here on who is going to manage to get the dub ski, and it could be either side. The Germans are doing well, the US is doing well, and they're both depleting each other's forces rather rapidly. So whoever does end up winning this thing overall, I think is going to have very few soldiers left alive at the end. I think this is going to come down to it and be a pretty tight race at the end of the day. So I think we're just going to let this run for a while until we do get ourselves a ending here, because my computer is starting to fill up with all of the clips. Oh god, that's more lag. Why does it keep randomly lagging like that? So bizarre. Yeah, so we'll just go ahead and let this run and find out what ends up happening. Oh, that lag is not going away this time. Great. Thanks, game. I'm so glad you're super optimized. Fantastic. Battle now, but it's been going on for like an hour, and the Germans are still holding out, and the US are still launching assaults. So they have a very small assault force over here on the left that's trying to get some stuff done, but I don't think they're doing too great. All the guys over here are dead. There's no more assaults from this area over this way. Over this way, it's the same deal. No one's coming from over here anymore. They're all gone. But then over here is definitely the largest U.S. situation currently. They've got a plethora of soldiers over this way pushing inwards right now and trying to lead some pretty decent assaults. Although the problem is that they're trickling in because of those bridge choke points, which obviously makes things a little bit harder for them. They can't go in a total force here, and they have to trickle in bit by bit, which makes it so they're more likely to die and less likely to get kills in that way. So, a little bit of give and take here. It's tough in certain situations, but they're doing well in other situations. I don't know, pretty interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and let this ride, and hopefully we'll have an outcome relatively soon, and we'll find out if the Germans win or the US wins. All right, guys, we're just about at the end here. There's a couple of U.S. soldiers that are coming forward. Apparently there's like 600 of them left alive. I see 3 here, but then I have no idea where the rest are. I'm guessing they got glitched somewhere and are suffering a horrible fate, stuck under their comrades or something like that in a body pile. I'm not sure, but there's still 27,000 German soldiers. It did come very, very close, to be fair, to the US. They came this close, but just couldn't conquer the full-on island here. Rip, rip, potato chip to the boys. But of course, they do have one more trick up their sleeve. The brand new US weapon. Just nuke them. Bye-bye. US victory. Easy dubski. No, but seriously, the Germans did win the infantry battle here and managed to get that dubski. Oh, these guys didn't die in the nuke. Goodbye. But the US wins the technology war, baby. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you did enjoy. Please be sure to hit that like button if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more of this in the future. Either way, guys, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.